Two teams now just dismantling their team huddles. Eswatini just still trying to get their last prayers, their last words of encouragement. And of course, referee for the afternoon, Akona Makalima, looks at a stopwatch, ready, of course, to kick us away. But I'm really interested, Mahlomola, to really see what Eswatini has in store in terms of just their exposure at the tournament and what the potential or the purpose of the tournament is or has had an impact on them.
Absolutely. I mean, over the years they've been here. They don't remember them getting out of the group. So they've got a tough one in South Africa coming later in the tournament. But for now, what's in front of them is the Seychelles, and that's where they need to focus on. And then after that, we know that there's going to be, what's the other team in the group?
Namibia, South Africa.
Namibia, South Africa. So it's going to be quite important for the Seychelles to actually try and stamp their authority early on. But I see Eswatini doing that more. But let's wait and see. It's just started. I think the players for now, for the next 10-15 minutes, they'll be sizing each other. If they can get a goal in there, why not?
Yep, it'll be very important for either of the teams to get a good start, especially in these opening stages of the match. Those set pieces will definitely come in handy as well, usually when the game is very tightly contested.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, you were speaking about Eswatini. I mean, in the last 5 tournaments, they've only ended in the group stages in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2023, and 2022, and even last year. So they'll be hoping that this year it's a different kettle of fish altogether.
Yep. And this is what we're looking forward to. Just those physical battles in that midfield, really contesting for that ball possession. Here's another set piece, well flown into the box. Yep.
Oops. All right, keep almost spilled it there, but saved by the referee. And Amanda, what's your take on these players playing in such a magnificent venue, the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium? I was talking to the coach of South Africa yesterday when they coming here a little later. She was saying she's in awe as a coach that it will be her first time here. What about these players now?
Absolutely, and it's such an interesting conversation, Clocks, because a couple of weeks ago actually drove down from Joburg to Mpumalanga to watch TS Galaxy become the first team in the HollywoodBets Super League that is actually playing at a 2010 FIFA accredited World Cup stadium.
Yeah, that clearly shows you that women's football is on the rise on this continent, and as we see that Eswatini is attacking. Let's see if something can come out of this, because they've been camping in that Seychelles 18 area box. But let's see now. Is anything going to happen here? Yeah. Oopsie.
I think these are some of the aspects of the game that Eswatini would really want to improve on. They're dominating much of that ball possession, camping in the opposition's half, but it's just always just finding a teammate with a good pass. But maybe to go back to what you were saying about Coach Maud, I think them too, as South Africa coming into this tournament, lots of pressure of course, but the quality of the pitch will really allow them to really showcase what they have in store.
No, absolutely. I know we're going to talk about them more in the next match starting at 5 o'clock. But remember, South Africa had a tough one last edition of this tournament, only managing the group stages. So the real pressure is on them. Oopsie, as we see Eswatini scoring number 7 there. Feliwe Thandazile Nkambule getting that goal for Eswatini. We did say that this match, if it gets a goal, things are going to happen. So let's wait and see. Is this the first goal, or will the Seychelles return and equalize?
Feliwe Nkambule, the goal scorer, opening goal scorer of this match. And once again, we spoke about Eswatini just camping in the opposition half. A well-lobbed cross in there. Goalkeeper should have done well. Goalkeeper Paris should have done well just in terms of handling. But because of the wet surface,
Very terrible mistake by the goalkeeper there. The wet surface and inexperience, remember. It's their first time here, so such things are perhaps to be expected. Let's see if, as I said, whether Eswatini can get more and just basically be comfortable as we head into the halftime match.
Yeah, team captain Kambule just getting that one for Eswatini. Now they will look to be a little bit more comfortable and ease into the game with the pressure now off their shoulders and hoping to dominate this match.
Of course, that's what they wanted to do, and that's what they were doing, in fact, in the early stages of this match. And we could see another goal here. There we go. Nope. The defense of Seychelles clears nicely. But you can see that the Seychelles perhaps just taking part here. They're not really playing. They can't even get into the Eswatini half. So one can perhaps likely expect more goals to come from Eswatini here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Coach Chris as well from Seychelles, she alluded to the fact that she still has almost 15-year-olds in her team. So balancing that youth vibrancy and the experience will definitely take a bit of time. But she says they want to make sure they keep up with the intensity as debutants.
Yeah, that's key because I was at the Sasol League National Champs not so long ago, and there were 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds. Now, if you have them here already in the national team, that clearly shows that well, by the time they get to professional football clubs, they will have all the experience that they need, and they could be ready to even move abroad.
Seychelles now really trying to work out of their own half as well.
Yeah, but I must say I'm a bit impressed with their touches in the last 3 minutes or so. They've really had some touches, and they even have just put Eswatini under pressure.
Ngozo just apologizing there to her teammates, taking that one or sending it off for a throw-in.
And there was really no need for her to do that. She was not under pressure. She could have just controlled the ball and just played it nicely and started the attack for Eswatini. But unfortunately, I think she panicked and she just threw the ball out.
That Eswatini defense will have a lot to deal with. I mean, leading up to this tournament, they played 3 games. I think that was the last COSAFA they played the group stages, and they really didn't do well. And part of their problems was defending set pieces.
Let's see if they can do well here. It's a corner for the Seychelles. Can they get something out of this match? In the match.
A well-lifted ball. Dealing very well with that set piece that is Eswatini.
I think that's the first strike there from Seychelles. We haven't seen anything from them, so clearly they really trying to settle in the game, and maybe in the next 5-10 minutes we could see a settled Seychelles, and maybe, just maybe, they can give Eswatini a run for their money.
Interesting about both teams coming into this matchup. They played games 3 or 4. Seychelles did really well by preparing well, played 4, lost all 4, conceded 12 goals. Eswatini, on the other hand, their last COSAFA, they also conceded 12 goals.
Whoa, that's a huge number of goals to concede at this level. And if you come across teams that can score goals, it means that tally is going to increase. But for now, Eswatini is still leading by a goal to nil just before the 10-minute mark.
A good start from Eswatini. I think in their previous tournaments, having to even score first has been something very rare. That is, I think, for me, a very positive for Eswatini coming back in this tournament. That is a good objective, to score first and possibly to win the match.
No, absolutely. And I think what this group has, if you look at this group rather, you'll see that any team that's going to play Seychelles, they probably are thinking they've got 3 points already. But as you can see, you'll need to work a little bit for it. there's Eswatini. They've already scored their first goal. So can they get another one, or can the Seychelles pull one back and set this game really on fire?
Gambule with a beautiful cross ball.
That was a very powerful strike, and I must say, good reaction by the keeper there. She almost spilled it, like she did the one that led to the first goal. But look at that. Just 10 and then that strike, very strong strike. But the keeper, as I said, spilled it, but recovered nicely and quickly to ensure that it doesn't lead to a goal.
Yeah, powerful strike there from Ngampalala. Even in the last campaign of the COSAFA Championship, I thought she was a standout player. Nkambule as well, in that front three, they always seem to be very deadly. Now, having realized that the Seychelles goalkeeper, Paris, is not really that good in the handling, I foresee some more shots coming in.
Absolutely, and you can see that the strike force of Eswatini, they're just standing on that line and waiting for that through ball to ensure that they get as close to the Seychelles goals as possible.
Once again, Seychelles, their attempts being dispossessed. It's a turnover ball, and there's that through pass once again. Eswatini will really want to hold that line and just try and look for that long ball over Seychelles' last back four to really run onto.
No, absolutely. I'm actually surprised that their forwards are not using that line wisely, because they can see that, first of all, the defense of the Seychelles is not that experienced, number one, and secondly, they are a bit slow. So they should capitalize on that and ensure that they get another goal or two.
Yes, Swatini just judged off that offside. Here's the ball once again coming from the likes of Sikotse, bypassing that midfield, looking for that ball over the top. The likes of Ngampalala just judged for an offside.
That was a good call there by the referee. Well spotted, I must say.
I actually wanted to ask you, Mahlomula, about some of the innovations of COSAFA. We spoke about the referees, Akona sharing experience, but we hear something about VAR.
Yeah, what I heard is that VAR will be used in this tournament, which is a plus. But remember, it was used in the previous edition, but it's going to go live in the semis. For now, it's just been used as a test to also assist the referees to get in line with this very magnificent tool for some. That is, if it goes your way. But if it doesn't go your way, obviously, we all think VAR is not good enough. But yeah, they'll be using VAR from the semi-finals, as we see that goal by Eswatini that has them in the lead 1-0.
Yeah, Captain Kambule acknowledging her teammates, working very hard to make sure that she gets that second ball and converts it into the back of the net.
It makes me wonder, Amanda, that already it's 12 minutes gone. So as Eswatini managed to get that first goal, they could have, by now, looking at the Seychelles structure, should have at least grabbed another one or two. But the longer it goes for them, the more frustrated they will be, and the more Seychelles will be settled.
Yep. Those are the fouls that Eswatini would really want to evade. And the yellow card just given there for that midfielder, Shabangu. Ngozo, my apologies. Ngozo is the one who's seeing that yellow card. And these are some of the tackles that they need to be mindful of. The surface is a little bit slippery, and therefore they need to tread a little bit cautiously.
We're still so early in the game. You don't want a yellow card. You don't want a player being cautious so early in the game, because it means that going forward in the game, they become too cautious and are unable to play their own game, because they focused on the yellow card, that if I get another yellow card, I'm going to be sent off, and our team or my team will be a player down. You know, it's quite interesting that Eswatini in the last 6 editions, they've been ever present. That is why I said to you earlier, I'm expecting them to actually do better than the Seychelles. But so far, this one goal, well, it is a lead, but it's not good enough, because if Seychelles get a goal, then it's going to be big problems for Eswatini.
Kimberly from Seychelles, jersey number 10, seems to be the one who's a little bit of that live wire in that midfield, trying to pull the strings.
That was a thorough pass, a very good pass, but the Seychelles defense, have they recovered? Oh yes, they managed to clear that ball nicely. It could have been a dangerous ball, but here we see now that the Seychelles has recovered, and look at them, they're now putting Eswatini under pressure.
The likes of Moustache, Pierre as well. They just seem to be starved of that supply up front.
Yeah, and look at that, running onto that ball. There's only one, if you look at the structure, there's only one player of Seychelles up front, and then 3 in the middle, and the rest, 2, 4, 6 at the back. What structure are they playing? Will they be able to get goals using the structure?
It's a difficult one in terms of formations. It looks like a 4-5-1. They want to be solid in defense, but also overload that midfield, which I think Eswatini has really tried to manage. But that's where I think you get the creativity of Moustache, number 17. I think she's brilliant. But of course, they need Kimberly to be on the ball. That's jersey number 10. And maybe finally feed. I think a Pierre who is explosive in terms of pace. She's the lone striker up front.
Free kick there for Seychelles. Will they get something out of it? It was a handball there.
Yep.
So will the Seychelles get anything out of it? It's a free kick maybe in the game.
Yep.
Well cleared there by Eswatini. Can they do something up front? As I said to you earlier, if Eswatini leaves them, they're getting settled, and you can see that they are not fearful anymore. They're becoming braver and braver, the Seychelles, because when they started, you could see that they weren't really sure of what they were doing. But you can see now they're starting to have some structure and starting to play a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ignore the first-time jitters. As first-timers Seychelles, I think 16 minutes now on the clock, they should really be finding their footing, and maybe the ball possession favoring them now in the latter stages as compared to Eswatini.
No, absolutely, those jitters are key, because once you out of them though, you could be a strong and powerful player. So 16 minutes gone, as you said, and Eswatini, I think by now, as I said, they should have had at least another goal or something. But you can see that Seychelles are really saying, we're not done yet, we're not out yet. So let's go and let's try and get a goal to ensure that we get something out of this match.
Eswatini really trying to build up from the back. And this is where the confidence comes in now. You've got a goal ahead. Now you can really implement your game plan.
Yeah, absolutely, but you gotta do something that we've practiced. It looked a bit messy there, but build up from the back. I'd have expected a better one, because here we are now that the Seychelles has the ball. You know, like I said to you, Amanda, if you look at the Seychelles, they now slowly moving towards the Eswatini goal mouth area, and should they get closer, will they be able to get that much needed goal?
As short as she is, Alicia, number 4, she's doing a great job in that defense, and I think marshalling that line to make sure that they just push up a little bit to squeeze in and squeeze Eswatini from that space.
She's fighting hard. She's fighting hard. I mean, her size aside, she's really in the walls there and making sure the head team is intact at the back.
Yeah, another offside from Eswatini. 3 offsides now to the latter. They are making inroads, but just not really timing the to perfection.
Absolutely not. As I said, they always have 3-4 persons up front, but they not timing their runs perfectly, and that is why they forever caught offside.
Once again, they go for Ngampalala on her left side. Brilliant left footer.
Yeah,
But this one just really not finding the team captain. They want to try and get those cross balls because they're identifying spaces out wide and want to utilize those spaces to attack.
Yeah, that left foot reminds me of several players. Your Bitumelo Rabal at Sundowns, Karabo Dlamini at Sundowns, Wendy Shongwe at University of Pretoria. Very wonderful left-footed players.
Gabby Salgado as well.
Gabby Salgado at JVW.
This looks much better. Every time they get to Mustashi on the ball, number 17, they look like they're trying to put something together. Kimberly as well, jersey number 10, that midfield looks like has great technical ball-skilled players from the Seychelles.
Absolutely, and that's what I've been saying, that the longer the game stays like this, we're the 20th minute now, the longer the game stays like this, the more Seychelles becomes settled and composed. And as you can see, they now right at the edge of the Eswatini goal mouth, which didn't happen in the early stages of the match. Ooh, that was a wonderful strike there. Great strike there.
Yeah, that's Mustashi Bean chanting her name because she's just been that person in that midfield trying to pull the strings together. And I think her combination with Kimberly, they go for that triangle, getting those combination passes. She picks up the second ball, a powerful shot, forcing the goalkeeper to go on the right. But of course, just missing the target.
And you've been talking about her, and from the look of things, she's the likely one to score for Seychelles. And with that strike, if she had connected it well, we could be talking a different story right now.
Yep. Maybe at like 21 minutes of the match, I think as a coach, Chris, she would be really happy to see that Seychelles have really kept up with the intensity, and of course, medical attending to that injury.
Yeah, and Coach Bongani Makukulu from Eswatini should be worried that 21 minutes gone, only one goal from his side. He'll be expecting more. And as coach of Seychelles, you must be worried when your key player, Mustache, is at Mustache, yes, that she's down. You would want her to be up so that she can continue with the game, because she's been a live wire in this match.
I wonder if Samira Mustache, the captain, and Keisha Mustache are actually related.
I wonder if Amanda Dlamini
and Andy Dlamini
are related.
It'll be interesting to find out. Coach Bongani just, I'm sure, trying to look at that tactical board and trying to reorganize, because I'm sure they're understanding and seeing the game as we are. They're dominating the ball position.
In fact, look at that setup, or what they're doing. They're actually doing tactics there.
Yeah.
They actually discussing what the game should be like, which is a clear indication that they're not happy with the scoreline as it is. They want better from their side. And do not be surprised if any changes come from this, because you can see that they're moving those water bottles as markers, as their players, to say we should be doing this and that.
Yeah, very intentional. I think they're identifying the threat and now want to make sure that that midfield is really tight and locked in.
Oh, that was a pull there. Very unusual one.
Sometimes you have to take one for the team, eh?
Absolutely, and that's what she did. She'll be lucky not to get yellow from Akwana Kalima.
Yeah.
I think that was a teaching moment there, to say, hey, don't do that again. You'll be in my books next time.
Yep.
Wow, well taken by the keeper there. Remember the two balls that came her way she spilled, but this one she held on tightly. As I said, the whole team is getting a lot of confidence as the game was on.
good confidence if it starts with your goalkeeper making sure that she gets a good grip of the ball. It will give the defenders in front of her a little bit of confidence as well.
It's not called the last line of defense for nothing. You know, as a midfielder, if your goalkeeper is solid, then you completely relax and you're able to play your own game. But if your keeper is leaky, then it becomes a bit of a challenge, because you don't want to go too much forward, as you may have to track back quickly, come and defend. Ball given away there by Eswatini. Let's see how it goes. It looks like it's a dangerous one. Oh, the defense clears again. They no longer, Eswatini, they no longer coming strongly at the Seychelles. It's now the attacks are far and few between.
Yep, as we see Ngampalala just going in for that shot, forcing a corner. Here's a first set piece actually for the Seychelles to deal with.
Let's see how they deal with this one. Are they ready for this? Can they keep Eswatini out? Well, unfortunately, nothing came of this one. And you see the Seychelles defending with everything they have. Alicia Mataki doing the most there, and showing that no danger comes through.
Yeah. Stern talking to there from referee Akona to the captain. A great pickup from Mustache in that midfield.
Again, there's that attack again by the Seychelles, which didn't happen in the early stages of the match. What we see now, as I said, they're starting to be settled, and you can see that when they move forward, they sort of posing some danger to Eswatini, and you can see Eswatini scrambling for cover to ensure that the Seychelles don't put in full one back.
Good physical contest in that midfield. Kimberly just really trying to squeeze that through ball into Mustache.
But Mahasia Lambros unable to keep it in there. I think she should have done better.
Yeah.
I think she was a bit too casual for my liking.
I think one thing that you need to applaud from the Seychelles, I think it's just that bravery from the coach to bring in 15-year-olds, and that's the platform of COSAFA. I think for myself, as well as a former player, this is where you kind of get the exposure.
Yeah, it's way started for you. I spoke about that strike again. There, it's happening again.
Yep.
It's Kisha Mustache again.
Yep.
Again, doing that, or rather, shooting that good ball. And with a good connection, we could be telling a different story. But yeah, back to your point about youngsters playing the game, or even playing at this level. I mean, if you think of South Africa prior to the World Cup in 2019, this was their breeding ground. This is where they actually got all the experience, all the training to ensure that they ready for international football. So COSAFA has really done great. If you think of the likes of Zambia, they've been to the World Cup, recently went to the Olympics, and now we've got players from COSAFA who are playing abroad. Your Rachel, your Barbara Banda, they're all doing very well abroad.
Chawinga, Mikatlana Hilda, those are some of the names that, you know, when you speak about COSAFA, it's definitely an offside. If you speak about COSAFA, you can't not mention those individuals because they've really set the international stage alight.
Yeah, and I hate the Chawinga sisters are not coming. I would have loved to see them, and I'm not saying it's okay, but I would have loved to see them just for them maybe to give back. But obviously we know that they've got other commitments, and it's also an opportunity for other players to raise their hands and come and shine at this tournament.
course. Think of shot there. We saw another offside from Eswatini. I think the coaches, I guess, in the halftime conversation, halftime chat, that'll certainly be a point to address. Ladies, just hold your line. You're quicker than them. Just hold your line and wait for that ball over the top.
Absolutely. We now almost on the half-hour mark, and still one goal from Eswatini leading this game. As I said earlier, will we see another goal either from Eswatini or the Seychelles? From now, it doesn't look from any team, as we see Eswatini charging there. Good block by the goalkeeper to actually come out from her line and defend that one.
Yeah, very well read. Now Eswatini coming out on this wide flank on the right. Does really well to eliminate an opposition. A good cross. Definitely that goalkeeper, Seychelles Puris, has to do a lot better in cutting out those crosses.
Yes, but also the Eswatini players, they should have been expectant of that ball, because they've seen the Seychelles goalkeeper that she's a bit full of mistakes. They should have capitalized on that.
Kwanele Dlamini, for the first time in the game, just going on that overlap, getting that cross, eliminating an opposition. A beautiful cross. That should have been converted.
That should have been converted. They should be 2-0 up by now. The thing with Eswatini is that when they start camping in the Seychelles goalmouth area, they do that. They stay for a while. Whereas the Seychelles only take a few moments, and they take time to get to the other side of the field. So we are just hoping that with this kind of play by Eswatini, they may be able to pull something back before the half is over.
One of the interesting aspects, of course, of COSAFA and the group stages is that if you find a team, or you come up with a team like Seychelles who give you those opportunities, you need to make sure you maximize, because the next game that you're going to play, there will be goal differences, there will be goals against. So Eswatini shouldn't rue the chances that they're creating for the latter stages of the group stage.
And that's the nature of tournament football, as we see Seychelles making another mistake there, but able to recover. But yes, their first game is always important, and if you Eswatini and you get a team like the Seychelles where you can get in 3-4 goals, you need to do that, because you don't know what's going to happen against Namibia, you don't know what's going to happen against South Africa. By the time you get to them, you must be a little bit settled somehow.
Eswatini just still dominating that ball possession. A good cross, unattended to. All the time in the world to find a good pass for a teammate. Seychelles come away with it. Missed opportunity for Eswatini.
Again, I think that's a bit disappointing from Eswatini. They had all the chances. I mean, if you look at this move, look at that. Good ball going forward. I think she didn't know what to do with the ball, and she just took her time. But when she managed to actually control it, the other player just wasn't quick enough to get in front of the defender there.
Yep. I thought Simelane could have just dealt with that situation a lot better, be a little bit composed, and maybe even fancy a shot at it.
Absolutely, and if you look at the ball possession, 61 to Eswatini, but they still do nothing with it, because possession football doesn't win you games.
And you know the cliche of this cruel game that is called football. If you don't maximize on your chances, you will get punished.
Absolutely.
Very brave of the Seychelles to start their build-up from the back with that front press from Eswatini.
I'm also seeing the same thing, and I'm thinking, Eswatini, they've now actually pulled back, and they're allowing the Seychelles to actually start the ball from the back. You're asking yourself, are they tired? Are they trying to reserve some energy?
beautiful pass, beautiful attempt. We spoke about Alicia. As short as she is, she's got the heart of the lion, and she's been holding that back four very, very solid.
Yeah, I mean, that tackle timely. Had she made a mistake there, I want to believe that Eswatini would have punished them, but she was solid. She made sure that she got the ball, and she got it away from our attacker.
Fakudze with the well-delivered corner. And the Seychelles do ever so well to defend. Another danger into the area.
Yeah, in fact, they've been doing some good defensive work over the last few minutes. Eswatini has tried almost everything. Look, they've also made some mistakes when they have had a chance to convert. But yeah, really, the Seychelles have been solid in that defense.
Offsides.
I'm looking at the Seychelles defense. I mean, that height. Because there isn't much height in that defense, and I'm surprised why Eswatini hasn't really done much to breach the defense.
That's a good ball, and to the exact person that you need. Mustachi on the ball. Lebros with the cross. Kimberly just not being able to get that second ball.
Yeah, and they don't have enough numbers. But also their striker is as tall as their defender. So it's another challenge for Eswatini going up front because they don't have tall players.
Yeah, Farisha Pierre. Goalkeeper Paris does well to read the danger. Comes out early enough and gets a good solid hand on that.
Yeah, and we see one player down from the looks like suffering from cramps, or was she hit in the back? She's clutching her left side.
And you don't want to see Alicia Matitken on the floor. She's the number 4 who's just been marshalling that back four.
Yeah, and I've been talking about her that she's been doing so well. I'm just hoping that it's nothing too serious, because that could mean Seychelles could be in a bit of trouble.
I think just in the build-up to this match, our presenter Itumeleng Banda downstairs, as we see our officials from Eswatini, surely keeping tabs and just updating everyone in Eswatini. But of course, Itu did allude to the fact with the coach of Seychelles that some of the players maybe would not be able to keep up with the intensity in terms of training, and how important that has been for Coach Chris coming into this one where preparation is concerned physically.
Absolutely, and one thing we should not discard and not forget is the size of this pitch. This pitch, however beautiful it is, it's massive, and most likely most of these players are not accustomed to playing in such a big field.
Yeah, well, welcome to the big league. If you really want to shine across the world stages, this is where it starts.
Absolutely. She's on side. Could this be a chance for Eswatini? If it's a good ball. Yep, that was easy as you like it. Well, it appears it's not been given. These Eswatini players are celebrating, not aware of what the referee has seen. There we can see the goalkeeper of Eswatini down, as well as, or rather Seychelles down, as well as a player from Eswatini. We just have to wait to see what really transpired there, because I thought it was a goal, but clearly the referee saw something that we didn't.
Yeah, I think it was just the coming together, or the clashing of players in the box when that cross was delivered. It's usually the off-the-ball incidences that we don't usually pay much attention to, but that's why you have FIFA-accredited referee Akona to really spot the danger where we don't.
And she was very near to the action, so well spotted there. There, Amanda, there is that incident. I don't understand why it was not given. Because
You look at that.
Yeah,
you look at that boot going into and clashing onto the referee, but I thought it could have stood.
It should have stood, in my opinion, because the ball was already gone, had already gone past the goalkeeper. Had she stopped it and the boot come in, yes, a different story. But from what I see here, I think it should have been given as a goal.
Yeah, I think that should have been a goal. The ball had already passed the goalkeeper as well. No attempt to get into any intervention. But maybe
wrong
she saw
call
something
there. Maybe
we
she saw
didn't
something
see.
that we didn't.
Yeah.
But I think she made a wrong call there.
Yep. I think the conversation also would be who gets to protect the goalkeeper, if not the referee.
I suppose, but as we say, the ball had already gone past the goalkeeper. So had the goalkeeper made the save, different story. But the goal scorer had really all the time in the world to do what she did, and she scored. I'm just surprised that it wasn't given. There's Alicia back on the field, doing her utmost, and that's an offside.
Nandipa Manenze looking very sharp at offside. I think easiest one to give.
Absolutely easy. I could see it from a mile away. Surely, when Eswatini scored that goal, we thought more were coming. But we're now already on the 40th minute mark with just, under 5 minutes remaining, and still nothing for Eswatini except the one that's just been disallowed.
Goalkeeper Paris with a huge mistake there. Just rushing the ball to her teammates. She should really just be mindful, take her time, last line of defense.
In fact, the mistake started here when she missed that ball. Look at that. She took her time and then she gave it to the opponent. It's unfortunate that Eswatini didn't react too quickly to that. Had they done so, it would have been a different story. Maybe the second goal and this one stood.
It's always so important to read the game, and this is at Eswatini, to just really take advantage of the situation, just capitalize on it. The goalkeeper's not that good at handling, take shots, maximize on the second ball. The defense is a bit slow, they're high, drop your line, get that long ball over the top and run onto it.
Indeed, that's what we saw earlier on, that the Seychelles goalkeeper is a bit shaky. And we also saw the Eswatini technical team trying to put together a sort of a structure, but I don't see any changes happening here on the field, unless they're waiting for half-time to change things in the second half.
Eswatini just now trying to wind the clock, taking things very easy and steady. Patient build-up once again.
Yeah, it should be a welcome break to the two teams because they've been running at each other. But with only one goal in the net. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens in the second half.
This is good play from the Seychelles. just seemed to turn over the ball though and just give away possession very cheaply.
That was cheaply given away, and you had a player making a run. If that ball was threaded in nicely, we could be seeing a goal maybe from Eswatini, but unfortunately that ball just given away cheaply.
Yep. And how good do they look when they start passing those balls in midfield? Starting, of course, with the likes of Kimberly in that midfield, connecting with Mustashi and really just finding those openings. Florentine as well. We haven't seen much of Florentine in action in that jersey number 6. And they just need to get closer to one another, and they look so much better.
They're much, much better, because you can see when they thread those passes, something happens. But it's unfortunate, like I said, maybe it's because of the size of the pitch.
Yeah.
They just can't get to where they want to go in good time. But unfortunately, they have to come up with a plan to ensure that they build it nicely all the way up to the goal, whether the Seychelles goes or the Seychelles going the other way. 3 minutes to be added there by the match officials. And yes, there's that strike. Oh, she managed to do so well.
Yeah.
She did well. Kuchia Ashanta Porris in the Seychelles goal. She did very well. That was a very powerful strike. And she didn't spill it this time around. She keeps the scoreline to 1-0. So 3 minutes added, 30 seconds of that already played. So not much time left. And they'll be going for a break and get new tactics and get new instructions from the technical team.
That's a good ball.
That's a good ball.
It's a good through ball. It's 3v1. Nampalala just taking, I think, a very premature shot in terms of just trying to recycle the ball, get it to a teammate. It's 3v1. You have to make sure you maximize on that opportunity.
You have to. I mean, that was a good block by Boniface, number 12. They're doing very well to ensure that no danger comes to her goal mouth.
Kambule seems to be getting much of that ball. And here comes Dlamini in that overlap. Always unexpected, good control. Can she give a good pass? Eswatini do really well to recycle the ball, keep ball possession. But that cross just really not attended to. Paris, an easy pick up for her.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised that Eswatini, as the game comes to a halt, to the break, they trying to push harder. They could have done that in the last few minutes of the game, but only now they only trying to push further to try and see if they can get a goal. Can this be a goal? There we go.
So much better from Nampalala. And she knows she's had much of a fair of the ball possession on her side, left-hand side, unattended to. Finally gets one in the bag just before halftime. I think that's perfect timing.
Yeah, absolutely perfect timing. They call this one the crucial time when it comes to match situations. If you don't concentrate in these times, in this period, that's when you're really punished. And she did well by holding that ball for Napalala to come and just tuck it nicely underneath the goalkeeper there to make it 2-0 to Eswatini, and Seychelles still 0.
Yeah, Simelane does really well to hold up play. To Coach Bongani's satisfaction and applause, Mpalala just being the one to pick up that second ball and convert into the back of the net. And this is the approach for Eswatini. They must just get closer and closer, get that ball and pray from it. But of course, Coach, there we go, referee Akona says it's enough for this 45. And of course, Eswatini just dominating much of that ball possession and of course the scoreline.
Yeah, I think the coach of Eswatini, Bongani Makukulu, he will be happy with the scoreline, not with the play and not with the fact that they did not score more. But the 2-0 cushion should be good enough to actually give him something to work with coming into the second half.
Yep, the second half is going to start just after this break. Of course, to confirm the scorelines, Eswatini 2, Seychelles 0. Mr. Clocks, you can chat to me on what you see and what the stats are saying to us.
Yeah, quite surprising that goal attempts are so similar, because I would have thought that Eswatini would have more, but it's clear that they just had most of the possession on midfield. Even the threats on target, clearly it shows there's really not much difference between the two teams.
Yeah, evenly poised at halftime in terms of stats, but of course Eswatini dominating the better of the stats, and that is the 2-goal margin going into halftime.